myself, I'm not just gonna stand here and wait. I wanna just decide what is to be my fate. Alone all by myself, I'm not just gonna stay here and wait.
Good evening, everybody. Hopefully this thing is on. Yeah, we're late today. We're very late today because Chile de Castro made some news this afternoon, some very stupid news. But since we have the All-Star panel right after this at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock where it counts, 6 o'clock on Mountain Time and 5 o'clock on the West Coast, we're going to make this one as quick as we can for the longest newscast that we've ever had. Parsons had actually helped me eat part of my dinner, which was delivered half an hour ago when I was still trying to record the newscast. So this is fresh off the presses, folks. We're going to start with the market, and then we'll dive into everything else, saving Chile's insanity for the last story. Wallace returns, the market yawns. Market darling Floyd Wallace returned to live streaming on Monday with an apparent direct response to our recent coverage of his disappearance, calling recent news on him the work of a troll channel and updating his fans with his current situation, which had no effect on the GoFundMe market at all. As usual, Wallace took every opportunity to tell his story and to fundraise for the nearly $800 he owes in fines related to his recent guilty plea in Grayson County, Texas, for resisting arrest, search, or transport. He was arraigned in July and agreed to a plea deal on September 10, 2024, where he pled guilty to the charge, was fined $787, and accepted probation for 6 months. Wallace provided a link to his case and instructions on how his fans could directly pay for his fine for him, with the goal of paying the fine off immediately so he could pursue having his probation reduced from 6 months to 3 months in the case. Explaining probation from the case, Wallace stated that while he's on probation for 6 months, he's allowed to travel anywhere within the United States without restrictions, as he doesn't live in Grayson County, and he has already tentatively obtained permission to leave the United States at any time. According to the YouTuber, he can leave the country for anywhere in the world, but must return to the United States after 21 days. He laughed and said that he'd just return for a day and then leave again if the situation presented itself. The YouTuber said that his passport problems had been resolved, and that the holdup with his passport came as the system showed that a warrant out in Nebraska was still active in error. The issue was eventually resolved, and Wallace received both a new passport and a passport card. He then addressed his upcoming plea deal out of Cleveland County, Oklahoma, scheduled for October 1st, 2024. Wallace said he wanted to fire his attorney and fight the charges, which carry 2 months in jail, claiming that if he loses in court, he'd simply serve the 2-month jail sentence, as the sentence would be reduced to 26 days. Wallace called serving time in jail boring and claimed to be racially discriminated against in the Oklahoma case, as all the police officers and judges he encountered were white. He also claimed that his association with Jose Chile de Castro was a big part of the charges sticking against him, as judges want to make an example out of anyone associated with de Castro. Going further, Wallace blamed his physical appearance for the discrimination, as he said he looked Haitian, and people responded horribly to Haitians. Turning to his romantic life, Wallace again complained about American women and said that he could go to another country and get sex with a different woman daily, as women outside of the United States treat him like a god. He looked forward to his upcoming sex tours, which he said he'd be embarking on after his October court case is settled. Wallace addressed his current working conditions. As he is still making money off his YouTube channels, he only needs to work temporary jobs in order to keep up with his expenses. He also said he had no plans to find full-time employment, as he was leaving the country as soon as humanly possible. Addressing his mental health, Wallace admitted that he had been depressed recently and that time off from YouTube streaming was good for his health. He later promised to stream again later last night, but never did. Finally, Wallace reminded his fans that they can directly contribute to paying for his fine of the Texas case, and again distributed the link to pay the fine in a side chat before signing out for the night. Wallace's return did nothing to impact the market, as our own ongoing expenses account won the day with a $10 take from our hate watcher. On that note, if you'd like to send your money to a YouTuber who isn't paying off his massive court fines, we'd be remiss if we didn't remind you that you can contribute to force the college dropout and known cryptid Jim Finch to keep writing this dreadful column each day by contributing to the GoFundMe run by this very channel. All proceeds go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing new stories to feature here and on reallycoolsite.org. So yeah, Floyd's got some balls on him. He's literally giving out the link to the Texas court system so you can personally make a payment on his fines. I don't know how the hell that works, but he said you had to at least put $2 in, and it would immediately go into his account. So, yeah, that is Floyd. That is Floyd's new grift. And he seemed very happy. He was very up on the video. Yeah, I don't know what he was doing with his hands, though. They were below camera angle the whole time, and it was kind of creepy. I also have a favor for you guys, and hey, Michael. If you could watch some of our videos, please. They're fairly short. Give them a like and subscribe, as we've been naughty the past couple of days. I've been kind of doing, well, I've been using icons or thumbnails that YouTube doesn't necessarily approve of, and that seems to have gotten us into the promotional doghouse just a little bit. They apparently don't like, icky ticky tacky, Canadian maple leaves, yeah, and some of the words that we use, they didn't like those either. So, yeah, I'm finding out that YouTube is a harsh mistress, so we do need a little help. If you can click on a few of our, I can't even talk now, it's been rushing all night. If you can click on a few of our videos, it would be much appreciated. Now we're up to the first of 2 chilly stories, but not the one you want to watch yet, so let's go through this one. Chili DeCastro loses Instagram account. Jose Chili DeCastro made the stunning announcement on his YouTube channel Monday night that his hugely popular Instagram account had been deleted by the service for violating their guidelines by posting anti-police videos. DeCastro's propaganda videos, designed to sell his 5A cop card and indestructible trifold products, have gotten the YouTuber in trouble before, with multiple accounts on TikTok and other services either being suspended or being removed entirely from this service. The hate-filled messages typically call police officers demons and accuse officers of various perceived indiscretions based on DeCastro's own previous encounters with police officers. DeCastro had been known to tailor his message to attack police on real or imagined slights he felt happened during his most recent rendezvous with officers. A recent encounter with police in Las Vegas, for example, was labeled "Undercover Cops Terrorizing Americans," yet featured a brief, mostly positive encounter with police officers. DeCastro's slight that caused the headline? One of the police officers was driving an unmarked vehicle. It was referenced for an entire second in the video itself, with DeCastro asking, "Is that an undercover?" before going into a lengthy pitch for his products, while holding the camera in an over-exaggerated forced perspective angle to make himself look taller. Monday's broadcast was more of the same, with his subject of North Florida Deputy Zach Wester, who was sentenced to 12.5 years in prison for planting meth on innocent drivers back in 2022. A settlement between the Jackson County Sheriff's Office and the defendants in the cases handled by Zach Wester resulted in the dismissal of most of the convictions Wester was involved in and unspecified financial payouts to the victims of Wester. DeCastro later prank called the Jackson County Sheriff's Office in order to inquire if Wester's family was still employed by the police in Florida. The dispatcher he talked to seemed confused, as she had only heard that Wester's father had been a police officer. She quickly transferred DeCastro to voicemail of another unit to handle his inquiries. The YouTuber addressed what he claimed to be growing shipping problems with his merchandise line, stating that he was now going to be selling his indestructible trifolds in packs of 2 for $20 with $10 shipping. He will only be shipping via certified mail, as he was tired of problems regular shipping and handling had caused him. DeCastro scheduled a live stream for Tuesday afternoon entitled Big News. Will provide continuing coverage of his big news as he announces it. We'll get there. We got one more story ahead of this. Please don't leave, okay? I realize who it's about. Her voice is not on it. I swear, her voice is not on it. It's just me telling you what she did. And hi, Kova, and hello, Facebook, Karen. Yeah. And remember, please don't skip out on us during this extended. Yeah, it's a long one. It's a 4-minute or maybe 5-minute. I'm sorry, but you do want to stick around for the Chili DeCastro one immediately following it, so please stay. And remember, if you don't stay 8 o'clock tonight, we do have the All-Star panel. Probably going to be another drunk person night, so the gang will be here. Yeah. Parsons. You can't leave, Parsons. Your puffy jacket's on the line. Benson DMA talks smack to Inglewood City Council. YouTubers Regan Benson and Christopher Denver Metro Audits Cordova live stream from the Inglewood, Colorado Civic Center Monday night as they claimed they were to attend the going away party for Inglewood Police Chief Sam Watson, who is retiring later this month. The pair were on scene before the regular Inglewood City Council meeting, with Cordova signed up to speak. As they were walking to enter the building, they noticed Watson and his wife entering the building, and Watson holding the door for those who were near him. Benson and Cordova, who are not close to the doors, complained that Watson did not hold the door open for them, with Benson sarcastically asking Watson, who is now inside the building, if he would let her stick her thumb up his butt. After going through security, Benson noted that the new signs were displayed throughout the facility, indicating that flash photography was only allowed during recognition periods. Press had to stay at the press table to film, and booing, cheering, and applauding was now prohibited. Benson encountered City Council member Rita Russell on the way into the City Council chamber and demanded to know when Russell would be replying to her email on the City Council's consideration of a camping ban law. Russell, who was usually sympathetic towards Benson, told the YouTuber and activist that she didn't think Benson deserved a response after Benson belittled her and degraded her in an email sent to the entire City Council. Inglewood, like other cities across the country, debated a camping ban that would essentially allow police to arrest people for sleeping on the streets or on city-owned property. No decision has been made on such a ban, and no motion has been advanced to institute the ban. Cordova, returning to the chamber for the first time since mysteriously ending a speech mid-sentence 2 weeks ago, milled about the chamber, talking with various officials before the event started. Once the meeting started, Benson became outraged and appealed to the city clerk when this entire chamber applauded for Police Chief Sam Watson after he gave a speech thanking the City Council for recognition and reflecting on his time as police chief. The outraged YouTuber pointing out that the posted sign said that applause was prohibited in general and did not specify when applause was allowed. Benson later used her new position at the back of the room at the media table to loudly criticize and mock speakers at the City Council meeting, to a great delight of the 58 viewers of her live stream. Cordova was the last speaker during the public speaking portion of the event. Due to recently enacted policy changes, he was moved down the list of speakers since he had spoken at the previous City Council meeting. He thanked City Manager Sean Lewis and City Council member Tina Prang for checking in on him after the incident at the previous meeting and explained that he was fine now, but he had been going through a lot of things at the previous meeting. Cordova then launched into the same speech aimed at City Council member Steve Ward, who penned a column about recent actions of the First Amendment auditor in the Inglewood City magazine. The YouTuber brought up Ward's criticism of his comment supporting the public display of pornography in the Inglewood Public Library, and again said that it would be unconstitutional to ban pornography, though he would never look at pornography in public. He then criticized the changes made to the public speaking portion of the meeting, calling Mayor Orthano Sierra more disruptive when he asked people to stop clapping than the disruption caused by those who decide to clap. Cordova claimed that it was discriminatory to ban applause as it was targeted towards opponents of the city council, and he felt the ban should be rescinded. Benson and Cordova left the meeting after Cordova's address, going to the third floor to have an extended complaint session for their fans about the current state of Inglewood police, tyrants, policies, unconstitutional, and the city's war on the homeless. The pair took all copies of the Inglewood magazine from displays on the third floor, along with assorted promotional material, and began autographing them to be used in a future raffle for their fans. Benson promising a $5 raffle entry fee, with all proceeds going to her nonprofit homeless or outreach organization. Benson later accused Denver Police Sergeant Brian O'Neill of modifying a homeless woman's address within Denver's police system to send mail to Benson's house on behalf of the woman, with the YouTuber filing an internal affairs complaint about the incident where the woman's jury duty summons was delivered to Benson's home. Ending the stream, Benson asked her fans to start complaining to Colorado's Attorney General about Inglewood, as the Inglewood police will never follow up on her complaints. She also promised a big update on an unknown issue before calling it a night. Okay, you're all still here. Good. Because we're about to get to the DeCastro stupidity. So, yeah. Basically, Regan, I don't know. It's hard to describe what's going on with her because she's still in the mode where she says that the Inglewood police are after her and can take her out at any moment. And then she's Batman. So, she's watching the police. And she's reporting on their every move. And Cordova's got a video coming out where it's his transport from the police station, or from the arrest scene to the police station or something like that, where the police officer was speeding. And that's a scandal, because he was speeding, he was going over the speed limit, and he was transporting Cordova without his lights and sirens on. So that's being bad. That's a bad guy. Everybody's bad in Inglewood, apparently. And hello, Rose. Yeah, we've got 25 minutes, Rose, before the All-Star panel, where I really need you, hun, tonight. Need you to take over for me all night. Yes, you'll be hosting. Maybe. Anywho, let's get on to Chili and get out of here. Chili's second story, Chili's stupidity from this afternoon. Rage quits reading of own win over LMVPD. Jose Chili DeCastro announced on his Tuesday afternoon live stream that he had won over the Las Vegas Metro Police Department in his lawsuit and will be going above the current judge and taking the case to circuit court before asking his chat to brigade the judge in the case for lying about him in a recent ruling. DeCastro read Judge Andrew P. Gordon's recent 51-page ruling on his latest live stream, criticizing Gordon's description of the traffic stop that led to DeCastro's arrest in March of 2023. The YouTuber accused the judge of bias from the description and became visibly irritated by that alleged bias, screaming at his fans that the judge should have called the commands by police illegal commands and that he should have thrown out both qualified immunity for the officers and probable cause in the case. comparing Gordon to the unprincipled Justice of the Peace Ann Zimmerman, who found him guilty of the charges from the incident in Nevada State Court before her ruling was ultimately overturned by an appeals court. The YouTuber promised to get Gordon's name and investigate Gordon's bias against him. DeCastro also claimed that Gordon left out accusations by DeCastro that Officer Jesse Sandoval went under the cameras and punched him squarely in the testicles. He disputed Judge Gordon's account of the incident, rage quitting the reading when DeCastro misread Gordon's account of the arrest when he claimed Gordon said he was walking around instead of moving around. Still enraged, DeCastro also threatened Judge Gordon with a mass petition, claiming that his thousands of viewers will petition the judge to call him a lying tyrant. He also accused Gordon of having a sock account to watch DeCastro's videos, and that Gordon was currently watching the video before distributing Gordon's mailing address and asking his viewers to petition Gordon directly. At one point, DeCastro attempted to call Judge Gordon directly, mistakenly getting the district court instead of the federal court. He also attempted to call his lawyer, Michael Mee, with his audience listening into the call, only to have Mee's receptionist take a message as Mee was otherwise indisposed. DeCastro, who was obviously reading the ruling on air for the first time, became increasingly angered by the description of the motions and the judge's initial rulings. He ended up becoming so triggered that he had to stop the live stream as he could no longer finish reading the 51-page document. The rage shown by DeCastro puzzled most viewers, as Friday's ruling by Gordon was an equal part win and loss for the YouTuber. According to legal expert Merb, DeCastro could essentially use the ruling to demand a settlement from the LVMPD, who would be in a better position financially to settle the case rather than continue. DeCastro's insistence that he would appeal the case until we get a judge who will rule for us apparently will end any thoughts of a settlement and a quick resolution to this case. So, yeah, he could settle right now. They could start settlement talks. Merb said he'd get between 15 and 20 grand. Chili desperately needs money right now, especially if he's going to continue this case. Immediately announced at the start of it before even reading the damn thing. And thank you, Dave, for the $10 super chat. Mass petition? You mean a dozen people? Ha, lol. Yeah, he's trying the same thing he did to Ann Zimmerman. The trouble with this is Ann Zimmerman had already ruled. He is now trying to petition a sitting federal judge that, seriously, who ruled in his favor and kept the thing alive. He could have thrown the whole damn thing out, but he was reasoned. He said he could see both sides of things. And that's what pissed Chili off, was that he didn't rule completely in Chili's favor. So he had his own damn hissy fit on the air twice, rage quitting reading it twice, which we watched. We were in my voice chat. Yes, my voice chat for once this afternoon, watching it live. We probably will be for the first hour tomorrow, and then we'll go to Drunk Gurl in YouTube tomorrow because Chili announced another 1 p.m. Eastern live stream. So we'll watch at least the first hour before switching over to Drunk Gurl. And tonight we have All-Star Panel in 20 minutes where we'll be watching more Drunk Gurl. And Han, Rose, I thought you were at work, so I didn't invite you. But we had a good old time. Gia, of course, was drunk the entire time, she said, so I don't know. She was coming and going. We don't know about Gia. Anywho, anyway, with Chili, he rage quit this whole frickin' thing. And it was it was a passable, I'd say, ruling in his favor. So, Chili just has to pick his battles and not his nose. Because he was an idiot today. And when he called Michael Mee's receptionist and she didn't know who he was, I just lost it. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. He was just like, So, yeah. Anywho, we're going to get out of here. Thank you again for being here, and thank you again, Dave, for the $10 super chat. Man. It's been a long day, but it was pretty fun talking with everyone again. Being up here in this position is not natural for me. I'm used to being the sidekick and not the host of the show, which I've been for the past few months. So it was fun just being able to do zingers again in chat. So we, again, are back in 19 minutes on this channel with the All-Star Extravaganza. So please tune in then, as we're out of here on this one for tonight. Thank you again for being here, and we'll be back to our normal time, hopefully, tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. But also tomorrow, remember, 1 o'clock will be in my voice chat on Discord, and then at 2 o'clock will be Drunk Girl Theater. So hope to see you there.